Hello. This is the little video that answers the question of what is actually the longing, what's the burning desire that I carry into the mastermind of positive change. In order to answer that question well, I need to take you back, I think, at least 5 years ago. Back then I'm not sure anymore whether it was already after I finished my master's studies or it was in the last part of it, that a friend of mine gave to me the book of Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You might have read it. And in one of the first sections, he talks about a newly emerging paradigm. And I remember back then I did not really have an idea what is actually a paradigm. You know, I've heard the name, of course, but I did not connect anything that was of relevance for me in that respect. But that sparked an interest in like, okay, so what is it that is emerging right now? What is the time that we're entering? And how far is it different from the past decades, the past 100 years, from what my parents and my grandparents have experienced? And then I think the next really remarkable step in that journey was that I read a few more books and got through another friend of mine, who I find always very inspiring, in touch with appreciative inquiry. And with that, getting in touch with appreciative inquiry was connected a conference that I attended in Amsterdam, the first global conference on positive change, where I met people who did something which I thought was just happening in Phantasialand. They were helping organizations, teams, whatever, to thrive. So it was not about how we can get more efficient to kind of put the data of people in a good administrative form for the HR department, but it was really about how can we uplift the energy in the room, how can we help people unfold their potential, how can we support an organization or a team to move from one stage to another and to go through a transformation. And the energy in that room back then at the first global conference on positive change, that was striking. I think I had never experienced something like that before. Something so genuinely positive, motivating, inspiring. Yeah. And that was one of the sparking, even though back then when I attended it I didn't know that, but that was one of the kind of hopeful moments or hope inspiring moments that made me move in 2018 to Amsterdam. Another reason was such people like Joep, who are actually present in the mastermind right now. So but I had the feeling in the Netherlands there are more people who are already more open to another dimension, where it's not only about the money, where it's not only about a workflow, where it's not only about effectiveness and efficiency, but where it's about something that is bigger. Something that includes other dimensions that are important to me, like people and the planet, and thinking of such terms as wholeness and exploring what that means in the specific situation. And then I moved to Amsterdam, and there I was right in my thought, I met quite a few people, one of them being, for example, also Gwendel. But there were more who were openly sharing also about spiritual things. And that is kind of, at least where I came from, that's nearly a taboo in the organizational field. So these are the steps that led me to, and now I'm answering the question, what is the burning desire and what is the reason why I am in the Mastermind for Positive Change and why I came up with the idea together with Gwendol. I'm still looking for the very best way on how I can contribute to this paradigm shift that I was mentioning. So what I mean with the paradigm shift is we are opening up in what we do at work to include such questions that are not only related to profitability, which is important as well, and to efficiency and to competition in the market and all that kind of good or not so good stuff. But we are opening up to dimension like how do we serve with what we do, both the people who are involved within the organization and outside, and how do we serve the planet, how do we keep that all in space, and how can we kind of not only show up with a mask or a part of us that is kind of invited into the play, but showing up as full people. My burning desire is I want to contribute to that. I want to contribute to that with impact. I want to make sure that we're, with all the question marks that are occurring and all the uncertainty and ambiguity that these changes bring along, that we stay connected and appreciative towards each other, even though we might differ in our opinions around what's going on and what needs to happen. And I have, this mastermind is one of these features where I thought like this might be a way of how to go to that, but there are so many topics kind of related to that. So there's the topic of equality between gender, and kind of there's way too few women sitting in boardrooms. Like there need to be, like, we need to enhance the the kind of contribution and the opportunities for contributing for women, definitely, because with these century-old kind of practice in caring for those who we love, our own children, our parents, the house, also the nature. I think there's something that an old wisdom that women need to bring into the boardrooms. So we kind of not only talking about theories and spreadsheets and whatever, but really get what is real into the room and what is important into the room as well. Therefore, I mean, I realized myself also during my entrepreneurial journey here that I have to heal my relationship with money, and I guess women in particular might have a struggle with that. Why that? Because at least in Germany, around like 50 years ago, you as a woman had to ask your husband whether you could actually go and earn money yourself. Like we've been, like there was not a lot of access or free access to money, and thus to also create a financial literacy. But I also realized this is not only a kind of a struggle or a challenge for some women, including me, but that also for men. Like how do we become aware what money actually is on a collective scale? So that is a topic that I find important. So Mastermind, the question of financial literacy. Well, then what I have just in my backpack now, my kind of knowledge and my practice of appreciative inquiry and all that kind of stuff. So I'm wondering, like, what is actually the best contribution that I can give? That is kind of the burning desire, to find that out and to contribute to helping us shift on a oh, that sounds big, but I mean it like that, on a global scale, to a new awareness, but not only awareness, also a practice that is honoring the needs of everyone, the the needs of nature, the needs of those who are not in the room, but who are still important. And I hope to get a tiny little bit further in that with the Mastermind of Positive Change. That's my homework. I wish you a wonderful rest of your week and a good weekend ahead. And I look forward to our next session and to hearing or reading or seeing what you have to share. Take care. Bye-bye.